Hello everybody. I wanted to show you a fun project today on how to use some fabric. It doesn't have to be Halloween fabric, it can be any kind of fabric, but I'm going to be using Halloween fabrics for the project that I'm working on today. And I have this fabric that I think came from Walmart last year with these different ghosts on them, going in all different directions. And I picked this one up this year from Joann's. See, it's got ghosts and little pumpkins. And I also picked up this one that's got all different Halloween things going on, haunted house, witches, skeletons, all kinds of things. And I also have another fabric that I bought, and I already did a project with it, and I will show you because I love it so much. See, these were a pair of old shoes that I was getting ready to throw away, but I'm not going to be throwing them away now. They definitely will get worn this year. I covered them with this cat fabric, and I also made a purse to match. There was a zipper here, and I just covered the part that I covered was fabric, and I left the parts that were leather, I left those alone. But so now this year I have a pair of shoes and a purse to match, and I'm so excited about it. So now I'm going to work on another project. I'm going to show you how to start it, and I have learned a couple things after doing the stuff that I've done so far that I can give you tips and make it a little bit easier for you when you go to do it. So let's get started. Okay, so this is my bag that I found at Salvation Army, and it's a 31, I believe is the name of it. You know, you can buy all those different bags and stuff for that brand, but it's made out of canvas. It's like, you know, a textured, rough, kind of clothy fabric. I don't know if I'd call it canvas, but anyway, so you cover the fabric with the Mod Podge Fabric formula. It's in the blue bottle, and make sure your brush is nice and clean so you don't get any lumps or bumps or anything under the fabric, because it'll show up once it's dry. And just start like coating it really good with the Mod Podge. Get down into the cracks really good where you're going to push it down into that hemline. This purse was a good one to pick because it does have a really good distinct hemline where I'll be able to push that fabric down in there really good and cut it, and it'll look like it was made that way. It's pretty sticky. That's why I'm picking at my fingers. It gets on your fingers pretty bad. You might want to wear rubber gloves. I think it's easier just to wash my fingers off every now and then. A baby wipe works good. So just keep covering it and coat it really good. Press that fabric down on top of it. Push it down into that seam. And here I'm using my hat pin that I have, and I'm pushing the fabric down into that seam really, really good. That way when I go to cut it off with a razor blade here in a little while, it'll get a nice clean cut. So pull the fabric back and really start coating it really good. You'll see you don't glop it on, but you want to make sure you get the fabric covered really well. I've seen some other people paint their actual piece of fabric with the Mod Podge and let it dry before they even try to put it on the purse or shoes or whatever you're covering. But I think that might work good with, like, if you're doing a patch for a pair of pants, or you're trying to do some detail work, like almost like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like if you were trying to write letters or something on your jeans or a jacket or something, that would work best because then the fabric wouldn't fray as much. But with doing this project, I think it works fine, because I think the best thing to do is to let it dry after you get your material pushed down into the cracks. Let it dry pretty good before you start cutting it with a razor blade. I do see right here I'm doing some cutting with the razor blade because I'm trying to get around that buckle, which is kind of a little bit of a pain, but it's easy to work around, really. It's not too difficult. You just got to take your time. But, you know, if you do try to cut your fabric too quick and you don't have something real sharp, it will the fabric will unravel a little bit, and you know, it's hard to hide that if you get too much unraveling. So we're just going to keep going, cutting off the excess as we go, trying to get around this buckle. There is a little piece of the fabric I need to cover underneath the buckle because it picks up, and it's like a flap. So I'm having to go around that. And then see, I do a little bit of I do go over the fabric a little bit around like that buckle area just to start making it really stick good before moving on to another area. This stuff does dry pretty fast also. Doesn't take long. It'll be dry in probably an hour. I'd give it a good hour before you start trying to mess with it too much. But coat it really good. Keep moving along. You know, once you get started, you kind of, you have fun with it and just keep going until you got it all covered and you're finished with it. I didn't want to have to come back to it after, so this is just how I like to do it. And I like to put the pins on it to hold it in place while I'm moving on to another area. That way I don't accidentally pull too hard and have it pull away from where I've already Mod Podged it down. Just keep going, press all the wrinkles out. You don't want any wrinkles, get your wrinkles out. There, see? Nice and flat. Press it out good. Put a pin in there, press it in to the seam. I think you get the idea. I don't show you the project to the end, but you know, this is enough to get the idea. There's other videos online that show you how to do Mod Podge Fabric. They'd probably do just as good or a better job than me. I'm pretty new at this. I've only done a couple projects, but the ones I have done, I really like how they turned out. So that's why I thought I would do a video. And now's a good time to get these wearable Halloween things done because you can start wearing them anytime now. You know, a lot of people wear Halloween stuff all year long, and you know, it'd be fun to have things that nobody else has because you made them yourself. And you can pick out any fabric that you want. You know, there's like tons of Halloween fabrics at Joann's right now. One of them is like a pink material with little white ghosts on it, and the ghosts actually glow in the dark. That would be super cute, especially if you were going to go somewhere that has a lot of black lights. Your purse would be like, you know, the star of the show. You can probably hear my dog's toenails. He doesn't want to lay down. It's like, he's old. He'll drive us crazy. I'm going to put it down into that pocket area, down where you can't see where it ends. Just coat it really good with the Mod Podge, press it down in there, and then cut away the extra fabric. That way it's not getting in your way and making the parts that you want to stick down. You know, you don't want to have material flapping up, making it come loose. Here he goes again, across the floor, toenails clicking. My husband went to pick up my daughter at work, and when one of us isn't in the house, he doesn't know what to do with himself, and he will be up and down a million times now. He gets all antsy. Press it down. And then I'm going to cover that back part right there that I showed you. I'm going to do that part, but the part underneath the buckle, I'm not going to do that part. I'm going to leave that just black because I think it comes out good just like that. Hello everybody. So the next project that I'm going to show you how to do is making the fabric covered shoes. This is like this. I showed you an example with the cat fabric. Now I'm going to actually show you how to do it step by step. It's not hard at all. Picking out the right kind of shoes is, I think, going to be one of the things that makes it a little bit easier. I actually got these shoes at Walmart on clearance for $4. I've worn them a couple times to make sure that they're not going to irritate my feet, because I've kind of got sensitive feet. So they seem like they'll be okay, especially if I'm just wearing them like a day here and there. But they're flexible. The material is made out of fabric. The ones I already made were kind of like a faux suede. And I was actually getting close to throwing that other pair of shoes away because they were worn out. And, you know, I was going to need to replace those. So I thought it would be a good project to try doing it with. But these have a nice lip going around the outside of it right here. I think it'll be easy to press the material down into it like I showed you with the purse. So let's see what we can do. Let's get started. Let me point you down here. Okay, so this fabric I got at Joann's, and the thing I liked about it is it has all different kinds of pictures on it. You know, Halloween ideas. It's got witches, it's got skeletons, it's got, you know, all kinds of stuff. Pumpkins. It's got it all going on. And it's kind of colorful. I wouldn't normally wear a pair of shoes that's this, like, you know, loud, but I really like how they turned out. It's actually one of my favorite things I've done so far. And what I did is I took two different things and made it the focal point for each toe. I just tried to center both shoes up with the main picture in the same spot on each toe area of the shoe. You'll kind of see. The one I'm working on now has a moon with a witch, so I'm putting that right in the top of the toe area, and it comes out really good. So you do this the same way that you did the purse. Cover it really good, you'll see right here, with the Mod Podge fabric, and press it right down really good into that crease around the rubber and where the fabric starts, and then press it on there really good. And I cut this fabric on the bias so that it would be kind of stretchy. It's easier to stretch over the shoe if you cut it that way. And that means turn your fabric and see which way it stretches the most. And that's the way that you want to cut it, so that it'll go over, it'll stretch around the toe and around the sides of the shoe really good. Cut away that excess just like we did on the purse. I'm going to use my pokey thing, my hat pin, and I'm going to press that down in there. Here you see what I'm doing is I'm cutting out where your foot goes into the shoe. It gives me more room to stretch with the fabric and that kind of thing. Coat it really good right down into the crack. Get a good amount of that glue on there, that Mod Podge on there, because you want that fabric to stay on there. You'd hate to have your shoe fall apart while you're wearing it. Go all the way to the back. Coat it really good. Make sure you rub all those wrinkles out and get it on there nice and smooth. And then here at the back, I get it around to the back. And then I cut it up the center of the back, and then I fold one area over the other. I didn't show it in the picture, but you know, when you're working with the shoe, you'll the fabric will kind of tell you how it wants to go onto the shoe, and you work with how it's wanting you to do it, and just how the fabric's moving. And the thing that you do with the top part where your foot goes down into the shoe, you want to cut it about 1/2 inch longer, so that there's about 1/2 inch of that fabric that'll go down inside of the shoe. And then you want to cut like a whole bunch of slits in the fabric so that you can round it out around the top of the shoe and glue it down into the shoe really good. Then that way when you put your foot in it and pull your foot out of it, it's not pulling the fabric off. So make sure you glue that part in there really good. And this I'm showing you my, you know, finger razor blade thing. Or you can just use a regular razor blade. But you go right up to the edge, all the way around the shoe, cutting that extra fabric off right up to the rubber. And then you can press the fabric down into where the rubber's at, and it comes out great, no problems. Now we're going to do another little project with, this is another wearable project. So I have this spider web, I can't stop, spider web that I printed out on the printer, and then I cut it out in the what shape that I wanted left of the spider web, and I actually put it inside this piece of folded up parchment paper, and there you saw me gluing the paper right down to my table. And then I'm taking, this is some sequin trim. You can get this on like a roll, like you would ribbon and that kind of thing. I bought this one at Joann's, so I think I ended up paying a little bit more for it, because I have seen this stuff at Dollar Tree and places like that before, and what you see there at Dollar Tree would work just fine. Just make sure you get a couple rolls so that you have enough. So I'm just tracing with hot glue over top of the spider web. I can see it through the parchment paper, and then I'm gluing down the sequin on top of that. First what I did is I glued down a piece of mesh. You can, tulle, and I tried it 2 different ways. I got some really thick tulle with bigger holes in it. And it's a little more coarse. I think you use it for like puffy skirts and stuff under dresses. I tried a piece of that first, and I really like how that came out. And then this is a thinner piece of the tulle that comes on a roll that that you make wreaths out of and that kind of thing. And this comes out too, but I think if I had to do it over again, I would have just stuck with the bigger tulle, the one with the bigger holes in it, because it's more coarse, and I just like how it came out better. It was easier for me to glue on. So I'm just gluing my spider web on there. And at the ends of every piece of the sequin ribbon, make sure you, here I'm showing you some buttons and things. I don't know, I skipped ahead, I think. But I'm sewing some buttons. I'll show you what the spider webs look like finished here in a second. But I'm going to sew some buttons onto the collar of my shirts. And these buttons are actually ravens. So that I have a little bit of a Edgar Allan Poe theme going on this year when I do my Halloween decorations. And it'll be fun to have a shirt that kind of goes along with that. This is super easy. I just bought the buttons in a pack. I show you here in a little while the packs of buttons you can get. They sell them at Walmart, but I ended up having to get buttons at Joann's also, because I went back to get more buttons after I decided what my idea was going to be, and I couldn't find them at Walmart, so Joann's had to rescue me. So here I'm going to show you what it looks like that, and then I put a black sweater over it. Super cute, subtle, and see, you can take your spider web, you can pin it on your shirt like that. That would look super cute. And here I did another sweater. This sweater has beaded trim on it, where I've done. What am I looking for? Oh, there's my spider web. And then see that shirt, that black silky shirt? I did those buttons on it like the spider web. Super cute. Here I'm showing you my sweater. I hope you liked all of my projects for things that you can wear during Halloween. This is the pearl trim that you can get like lace or like ribbon. And what I did is I hot glued it down, and then I went back and stitched it on with white thread so that you can't see it. But the gluing it down with hot glue made it so that you can get it like really nice and tidy. And then the ring spiders to put on here work out great. And spider buttons that you can get in one of the kits that I showed you, like this. I found a few packs at Walmart, but then I went back to get more and I couldn't find any more. So I ended up finding my extra packs at Joann's Fabrics. But anyway, I hope you like all my projects, and if you want to try these, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. The fabric Mod Podge works great. I haven't had any issues with it. I've been wearing these shoes around for a while now just to try them out around the house before testing them out in the real world. And I think that everything came out great, and I can't wait until Halloween so I can wear all this stuff. And, I hope you like the projects. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys. Bye.